Hello, my name is Brenna Baig, and I'm going to be doing Lab 3, the counterintuitive demonstration. Last time I did number 16, and now this time I'm choosing to do number 25. And it says, floating an egg in the middle of a glass of water. Place 3 tablespoons of salt in a half full glass of water and stir until dissolved. Now carefully place an uncooked egg in the center of the water. The egg will float because salt is denser than the egg. And then now carefully put fresh water on top of the egg so that the fresh water and salt water do not mix until the glass is full. The egg will remain floating in the middle of the glass. So that's what I'm going to be testing out today. And a counterintuitive lab is basically just an activity that keeps students more engaged and interested in what they're learning. So I'm gonna set the phone up right here. So I have my egg, I have a glass of water, my tablespoon measurer, and salt. So I'm gonna fill this halfway up in the sink. Okay, did that much. Then I'm going to take my tablespoon, make sure it's the right one. Let me do this over the sink. It's getting a little messy. Okay, it says to do 3. So this is number 1. 2, 3. All right, now I'm just gonna mix that. Okay. Then I'm going to place my egg, and it's supposed to float. And it is floating. I don't know if you can see that. Hold on. So the egg is sitting at the top. And then, here, I'll take you with me to pour water slowly. And now the egg is floating in the middle of the cup. So yeah, that was number 25. And so kind of a little bit about like the science behind this experiment. It's basically about density and buoyancy. So density refers to how much matter is packed into a certain amount of space. When you add salt to water, the salt dissolves and increases the mass of the water without increasing the volume very much. And this makes salt water denser than regular fresh water. An egg normally sinks in fresh water because the egg is denser than water, but when you place egg in salt water, the water becomes denser than the egg. So the egg floats. And this happens because of a buoyant force, which pushes upward on an object placed in liquid. If the liquid is denser than the object, the upward force is strong enough to keep the object floating. When you slowly add fresh water on top of the salt water, the 2 layers stay mostly separate because fresh water is less dense and stays on top. The egg ends up sitting between the 2 layers, and the dense salt water below pushes it upward, while the less dense fresh water above doesn't push as strongly. And because of this balance, the egg floats in the middle of the glass instead of sinking or rising to the top. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my experiment. Thanks for watching.